The LGBTQ plus community is shocked as new Pride street painting is vandalized in Fort Lauderdale, the gayest place on planet Earth. Mayor Dean Trantalis decries creeping level of hate after vandals deface the LGBTQ plus Pride flag painted on a street just off Fort Lauderdale Beach. The mayor says the LGBTQ plus Progress Pride flag was damaged intentionally. He says that the damage to the flag should be viewed in the context of rising animosity toward traditionally marginalized minority populations. Trantalis, the city's first openly LGBTQ plus mayor, presided over the unveiling of the flag on just February 10th, the day before the Pride of the Americas parade and festival at the beach. According to Detective Ali Adamson, a department spokesperson, the Fort Lauderdale Police Department is investigating the incident. The flag measures 75 feet by 18 feet, is in the design of the Progress Pride flag, most of which consist of the 6 rainbow stripes that are a familiar symbol of LGBTQ plus Pride. It also includes the triangular black and brown stripes to represent people of color and baby blue, pink, and white stripes to include the colors of the transgender flag. City spokesman Arlene Borenstein said this total project, including asphalt work, cost $77,375, and the flag was painted on Sebastian Street between State Road A1A, affectionately called Gay 1A, and Seabreeze Boulevard, which is close to the famous LGBTQ plus beach of Fort Lauderdale. Stay tuned at the end of tonight's broadcast for a special exclusive interview with Mayor Trantalis regarding the issue. Well, I've talked to the mayor today, and we've talked about the issue. Disturbingly, he talks about anti-Semitic and black-related issues that are like this embracement attack on our image of LGBT out at Fort Lauderdale Beach, and it seems to be a growing issue that is going on. Very surprising because we're such a progressive community. Yeah. Now, whether this is people that are coming into the community are doing it, maybe visitors to the community, they're not identifying that. But he does indicate that they have high confidence that they're going to find the perpetrator of this because it was videotaped. And so we'll see. What do y'all think about, are you surprised that this vandalism occurred?
I don't know. Maybe I am an optimistic person. I've always been that way, optimistic. Just I try to look at the brighter side of life. But when I hear about these things happening, I'm like, oh my God, there are really people out there that hate us, hate our community. And I really try to give people the benefit of the doubt when I'm out and about, but it makes me fearful to go out. Like when I go out now, and I went through this years before, and it was finally feeling a little comfortable to be out in society. People didn't seem like, oh my God, like look at that that unicorn anymore because of the visibility that the trans community has had. But now when I'm out, I can feel it. I see like the look, and and you can feel it's getting tense. It's getting tense.
I mean, I think we can't underestimate what's happening, and the reason people hate us is because the other side who's against us is giving them reason to hate and fear us, that we're trying to groom their children, that we're a menace to society, that we're taking away from the moral fabric of the United States. So it's not that they just hate us, because again, we've always had our haters, correct? But now they feel emboldened to attack us, which I think is the scary thing. Because I mean, I talked to another friend of mine who is trans today, talking about going out in public and doing things and saying things that she never ever thought twice about. She's now thinking, I feel more at risk and exposed, because she indicated that she feels that people are trying to size her up. And in the past, where she could blend and not have that exposure, was very concerned about that. So, the governor and, legislatures across the country are giving people the right to attack us because we're kind of a monster. So, we're a target.
Well, I'm also wondering, similar to the flag that happened north of us, the vandalism on that flag, they were able to use one of the Republican bills to prosecute those folks. Because there was that new bill that said, you can't deface monuments, that was supposed to be protecting the Confederate statue. But when you have things like this that are considered now a monument or whatever, if classified as such, there's a different level of crime that you've now committed. So I'm interested in also how they're going to take action for the accountability of this. But even the idea of progressivism, right? And like the gayest city in America and things like that is like how, number one, we're having an influx of people coming in from all these other states because DeSantis has invited them in COVID. But also I feel like there have always been these pockets of people in South Florida that are not as progressive, and now they have the space to be more out loud. And we see time and time again, election after election. We saw it in the last election that the edges of our county are getting more and more red from the east and the west. So this is something to just be mindful of and to watch.
Because actually South Florida was like a safe zone for me. I always said, if you're going to live in Florida and be someone like me, South Florida is the place to live. But it, like you said, it seems like they're closing in on us.
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show from Happening Out Television Network. In the model of PBS and NPR, we educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of the LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the stories going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.